All right, buckle up, everybody. We're going deep into XRP today.
XRP, it's
And let me tell you, the sources, they're overflowing with predictions about its
it's a
future price. Yeah,
Mm.
some are saying it's going to the moon. Others, well, let's just say they're not so optimistic.
Interesting.
But you know what's really got me hooked?
What's that?
It's all this talk about, XRP's potential role
Role in what?
in the global financial system.
Mm.
Like we're talking swift disruption, private ledgers, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow. That's a lot to unpack.
Ready to explore this with me?
Let's do it. Let's unravel this XRP puzzle, shall we? It's amazing how tied up it seems to be with, well, everything.
Right, from global politics to like
Yeah,
the newest technologies.
absolutely.
And one of the most talked about connections is with the 2024 U.S. election.
That collection.
Yeah. A bunch of these sources are saying, the incoming administration could be huge for XRP,
Huge. How?
especially with like their pro-crypto stance.
Yeah. Right. There's a lot of speculation about how a new administration might change things, for crypto.
Crypto.
Some sources even say, get this, the new VP will just drop all the SEC cases against Ripple and Coinbase right away.
Whoa, day one. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
And they're saying this could like send XRP's price on a parabolic rise.
Parabolic. Yeah. Think of like one of those hockey stick graphs showing explosive growth,
Oh, okay.
But we have to remember political promises and actually changing policy. Well, those two things don't always happen at the same speed.
Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. No moon trip just yet.
Not yet.
But even without like those legal battles magically disappearing,
Yeah.
there's this whole other like layer of intrigue
Intrigue. What do you mean?
with the private XRP ledger.
Ah, the private ledger. Yes. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Multiple sources, they claim banks and institutions, they're already using this private version. And get this, the price of XRP on this private ledger, it's supposed to be around $327,000.
Wait, $327,000.
You heard that right?
How is that even possible when the public price is, well, a lot less?
Mm-hmm.
And why even have a private ledger in the first place?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The sources who suggest this theory, they argue that this private ledger, it lets institutions make bigger, faster transactions without the volatility of the public market.
Right.
And they think eventually this price difference, it just can't last, and we'll see them converge, which will push the public price way up.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this, but is there like any actual proof to back up this private ledger claim? It sounds a little like, a crypto myth whispered in the dark corners of the internet.
You're right to be skeptical. There really isn't concrete, verifiable evidence to support it. The existence of this private ledger, with a price of $327,000, you got to approach these claims with a critical eye and look for solid proof before you believe it.
So we've got a potential political shakeup, a mysterious private ledger with a crazy price tag, and now get this, XRP is being talked about as a potential replacement for SWIFT.
That's right. Several sources are highlighting that, XRP's ambition to kind of disrupt SWIFT.
Disrupt SWIFT.
Yeah, particularly within the BRICS nations.
And the BRICS nation.
Yeah, and they point to Ripple's partnerships with some major banks to create an alternative for cross-border payments.
Okay, for those of us who, might not be super familiar with SWIFT, can you explain why this is such a big deal?
Sure. SWIFT, or the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, it's like the plumbing of international finance, It's a system that connects thousands of financial institutions around the world,
Oh, wow.
making trillions of dollars in transactions every day.
Every day.
So if XRP could actually replace SWIFT, well, that would be a huge change for the financial landscape.
Replacing the backbone of global finance, that's ambitious. But is that really possible? SWIFT it's a giant.
You're absolutely right. SWIFT has the advantage of being, well, the incumbent, It has this huge global reach and well-established relationships.
Right.
For XRP to really compete, it needs to show not just speed and cost efficiency, but also security,
Right.
reliability, and global regulatory compliance.
So it's a bit of a David versus Goliath situation.
Yeah.
With XRP facing a tough battle.
You could say that.
But hey, stranger things have happened in the crypto world, right? Remember that whole meme coin craze?
Oh, absolutely. The crypto world is full of surprises. Which brings us to another interesting concept from the sources. The magic number of 4,762 XRP.
The magic number. I saw that too. The claim is owning 4,762 XRP is like owning one Bitcoin in terms of like network share. And if XRP reaches Bitcoin's market cap, bam, 47x returns.
Exactly. The idea is you divide the total supply of XRP, 100 billion, by the total supply of Bitcoin, which is 21 million.
Yeah.
That gives you roughly 4,762.
I follow the math, but does that actually mean anything for price? Is it really that simple? Market cap comparisons, they can be helpful, but
You're right to be cautious. Market cap is just one piece of the puzzle.
right?
It doesn't take into account things like adoption rate, how it's being used in the real world, and the overall feeling in the market,
Right. Yeah.
all of which are super important for determining the price of something.
So it's a fun idea, but we shouldn't take this magic number as like a guarantee.
Definitely not.
But hey, you never know, right? Maybe it'll be a lucky charm.
Ah.
Speaking of luck, let's talk about some, broader market trends because context is everything with crypto.
Absolutely. The bigger picture is essential.
Exactly. And we're seeing some interesting, even contradictory signals right now, like take Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Yeah. It's had some pretty impressive rallies lately, despite being, well, a meme coin.
Dogecoin, the meme that keeps on going.
It's like the Energizer bunny of crypto.
Yeah.
But what's causing this surge? Is it just hype or is there something more to it?
It's a mix of things. Dogecoin's price, it's often driven by, social media trends and speculation.
Right.
But it also shows the power of community and retail investors in the crypto market.
It reminds us that with crypto, anything is possible. And sometimes the things you least expect, they take off. Now, on the flip side, we've got Warren Buffett
Oh, Warren Buffett.
sitting on a huge pile of cash, and he's stopped buying back stocks.
Stop buying back stocks.
Some sources see this as a sign of caution, maybe even a sign of a market correction coming soon.
It's true. Buffett's moves, they're watched closely, and his choice to hold on to cash and stop buybacks does suggest he's being cautious.
Right.
Could mean he sees problems with the current market.
So while the S&P 500 is hitting new highs, there's this undercurrent of uncertainty, like a party where everyone's dancing but someone just spilled their drink and everyone's trying to pretend they didn't notice.
That's a great analogy, and there's more. We're also seeing record outflows from U.S. technology funds, even though the overall market seems to be doing well.
It's like everyone's trying to figure out which way the wind is blowing, but it keeps changing direction.
That's right.
So how do we understand these conflicting signals? What's the bigger picture?
Well, it looks like we're in a period of market divergence.
Divergence.
On one hand, you've got the S&P 500 reaching new heights, fueled by, well, positive feelings and maybe some of that retail exuberance we saw with Dogecoin.
Right.
But on the other hand, we have these seasoned investors like Warren Buffett being more careful and lots of money flowing out of tech.
Right.
This suggests some underlying worries about overvaluation or potential risks coming up.
So it's a tug of war between optimism and caution. And it's not clear who's going to win.
Exactly. And where this tug of war ends up is anyone's guess.
It's a wild ride.
It is. It's a dynamic situation.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about. But that's why I love these deep dives.
I know, right?
We start with some wild predictions, and then we really dig into the complexities.
It's all about connecting the dots, considering different viewpoints and coming to our own conclusions.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Now, before we finish this part of our XRP exploration, let's recap what we found so far.
Okay.
We've got this interesting mix of potential catalysts, like maybe a pro-crypto administration,
Yeah.
a mysterious private ledger with a crazy price tag, and the goal of, taking down SWIFT itself.
It's a lot.
It's enough to make your head spin.
It's a lot to digest, that's for sure.
Right.
But we have to admit, there's some real potential here.
Yeah.
XRP has positioned itself as a key player in global finance.
Right.
Its speed, cost effectiveness, and its partnerships, they give it a chance to change traditional systems.
But as we've discussed, the path to, mainstream adoption, it's full of challenges.
It is.
We've got regulatory hurdles, technological complexities, and competition from other cryptocurrencies. Those are just a few of the things XRP will need to overcome.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that in crypto, potential often runs ahead of reality.
Right.
Those big price predictions are exciting,
They are.
but we need to be aware of the volatility and uncertainty of this market.
Right. It's not all sunshine and moon yachts just yet.
No, not yet.
Investing decisions, they should always be based on good research, understanding your risk tolerance, and having a diversified portfolio.
I agree.
Now, as we move into the next part of our deep dive, what stands out to you as, the most important takeaway so far? What should our listener be thinking about as we explore this complex XRP landscape?
What fascinates me is this convergence of technology, finance, and geopolitics that we've uncovered.
Oh, yeah.
The rise of cryptocurrencies like XRP, it's not just a technological innovation. It's a societal shift that could change power dynamics and how we think about money and value.
It's like we're seeing a new financial order being born.
Yeah,
And XRP wants a starring role.
exactly. And as we go further into this uncharted territory, it's important to stay informed, think critically, and be ready for unexpected twists and turns.
No doubt. This deep dive is already a wild ride, and I have a feeling it's only going to get more interesting.
It definitely will.
But before we jump into the next part, any final words of wisdom for our listener?
If you're interested in XRP and the whole crypto revolution, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.
The future of finance is being created right now, and you can be a part of it. Yeah, it's a wild ride for sure, and there's so much more to uncover.
Yeah.
But before we get lost in the weeds, let's go back to this idea of XRP replacing SWIFT,
Okay.
especially within the BRICS nations.
Right.
This isn't just some random prediction. There's a whole geopolitical layer here that's worth exploring.
Okay, you've got my attention. What's the connection between XRP and the BRICS countries?
Well, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa,
Yeah.
they've been talking more and more about moving away from the US dollar
Moving away from the dollar.
as the main currency in global trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actively looking for alternatives.
Alternatives.
And some see XRP as a potential fit for their idea of a multipolar financial system.
So XRP could be a key player in this de-dollarization movement. That's a big deal. What are the BRICS countries looking for in an alternative to the US dollar and SWIFT?
They want a system that's faster, cheaper, and less reliant on, the US-controlled financial infrastructure.
Okay.
They see XRP's speed and low cost as big advantages.
Right.
Plus, Ripple, the company behind XRP, has been busy making partnerships with banks and financial institutions in these regions.
So it sounds like XRP is strategically aligning itself with these emerging economic powerhouses. Do we know of any specific partnerships or initiatives that are already happening?
Absolutely. For instance, Ripple has partnered with the National Bank of Egypt
Okay.
to make remittances to the country faster and cheaper.
Wow.
They've also worked with a leading payments provider in Brazil
Oh, wow.
to make cross-border transactions easier.
Okay.
These are just a couple of examples, and we're seeing more partnerships pop up as the BRICS nations look for alternatives to SWIFT.
It's amazing to see how XRP is like weaving itself into this global shift in financial power. But let's be real, replacing SWIFT within the BRICS nations, let alone globally, is a huge task. What are some of the biggest hurdles XRP will need to overcome to make this happen?
You're right, it won't be easy. One of the biggest challenges is, regulatory uncertainty.
Regulatory uncertainty.
Different countries have different rules about cryptocurrencies.
Right.
And navigating this patchwork of regulations can be a real pain for companies like Ripple.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to comply with regulations across so many countries would be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while riding a roller coaster.
Exactly. And then there's the challenge of interoperability.
Interoperability.
Yeah, the ability for different financial systems to seamlessly connect and talk to each other.
Right.
For XRP to truly replace SWIFT, it needs to make sure it can integrate with all sorts of existing financial systems and infrastructure.
It sounds like a massive technological undertaking.
It is. And we can't forget about the competition.
The competition.
There are tons of other cryptocurrencies out there, all trying to get a piece of the global payments market.
So it's a constant race.
Absolutely. The crypto landscape is super competitive with new players and new ideas popping up all the time. XRP needs to constantly evolve and adapt to stay ahead.
It's a race with no finish line.
You could say that.
So we've talked about XRP's potential, the challenges it faces, and the broader market context. But there's one more piece of the puzzle I'm really curious about.
What's that?
This whole idea of a private XRP ledger. I'm still trying to understand it.
It's definitely one of the more speculative and controversial aspects of the XRP conversation.
Yeah.
As we discussed earlier, there's no solid evidence to prove it exists, this private ledger with a price of $327,000.
Right.
But even if we consider it as a possibility, there are some really interesting questions to think about.
Okay, let's go down that rabbit hole. First of all, who's supposedly involved in this private ledger? Who are the big players supposedly using XRP at this crazy price?
The sources who push this theory, they suggest it's major banks, central banks, Maybe even governments.
Government.
The idea is they're using this private ledger for big settlements, international transfers, and maybe even to bypass traditional financial systems.
Wow, it sounds like something out of a spy movie.
Yeah.
Secret ledgers, shadowy figures moving tons of money. But if this private ledger does exist, why keep it secret? Wouldn't they want to, brag about it if XRP was trading at such a high price?
That's where the logic gets a little murky. Some say it's about confidentiality and security. They argue that these institutions want to keep their transactions private to protect sensitive information and avoid market manipulation.
Right.
Others say it's about control, keeping a closed system where they can manage the price and flow of XRP, to suit their needs.
So it's like a high-stakes poker game where nobody wants to show their cards.
Yeah, something like that.
But here's the big question. If this price difference between the private and public ledgers is so huge, how could they possibly converge? What would cause such a massive shift?
That's the key question. Those who believe in this theory, they argue that eventually the private and public markets, they have to align.
Align.
They say that as more institutions adopt XRP and the demand on the private ledger grows, the price pressure will become too much, forcing the price on the public market to catch up.
So it's like a pressure cooker ready to explode.
In a way, yeah.
But I gotta say, I'm still not sure how plausible this whole scenario is. It seems like there would be huge regulatory hurdles.
Oh,
Not to mention the potential for, market chaos if such a massive price change were to happen.
you're right. To raise those concerns, it's important to remember that this whole private ledger theory is very speculative.
Right.
There's no proof it exists, and even if it does, we know very little about how it works
Right.
and how it might affect the public market.
It's a fascinating thought experiment, but we got to stay grounded in reality.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are your thoughts on the bigger implications of XRP's ambitions? Even if this private ledger theory turns out to be false, XRP is clearly trying to shake things up in the financial world.
There's no doubt XRP is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Its potential to disrupt traditional financial systems, especially with the BRICS nations wanting to move away from the dollar, is significant.
Right.
But we have to remember, this is a long game.
A long game.
The transition to a new financial order, it won't happen overnight. It'll be a slow process with bumps along the way.
A fascinating journey to watch unfold for sure, full of possibilities and potential pitfalls.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes the crypto world so captivating.
I agree.
It's a place where innovation never stops, disruption is normal, and the future is being created right now.
That's a great way to put it.
But before we get carried away with these big visions of the future, let's bring it back to the present. We've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have.
From political predictions to technological innovations, it's easy to get lost in all the information.
It is.
So as we go into the final part of our exploration, I want to ask you, what are the key takeaways for our listener? What should they be focusing on as they navigate this complex and ever-changing XRP landscape?
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. We've explored everything from political predictions to those mysterious private ledgers.
I know, right? It's a lot to take in. But you're right. We need to cut through all the noise.
Yeah.
And focus on what's really important.
Absolutely. What are the key takeaways here for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they, navigate this ever-changing XRP world?
Exactly. So what should our listener be keeping in mind?
I think the most important thing to remember is that the future of XRP, or any cryptocurrency for that matter, it's inherently uncertain.
Uncertain, yeah.
There's potential for growth and disruption, sure, but there are also big risks and challenges.
Right.
It's a balance, being optimistic but also realistic.
Okay, so no guarantees of those moon yachts just yet.
Not quite. But seriously, the key is to approach XRP, or any investment really, with a well-informed and cautious mindset.
Okay.
Do your research, understand the technology, the team behind it, how it's actually being used, and the potential risks.
Right. Yeah.
Don't just get caught up in the hype or make decisions based on price predictions alone.
That's good advice. It's easy to get carried away, especially when you hear about those potential price surges and all those revolutionary technologies.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's important to remember, crypto is still pretty young, and it's super volatile.
Very true.
What looks like a sure thing today could be gone tomorrow.
Exactly. It's a constantly changing landscape, and being able to adapt is crucial.
Yeah.
Stay informed, stay curious, and don't be afraid to adjust your strategies as things change.
And speaking of changing, let's go back to that idea of the private XRP ledger
Oh, the private ledger.
and that supposed astronomical price.
Right.
You
Right.
mentioned that even if it exists, there are so many unknowns about how it works and how it might affect the public market.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Let's do a little thought experiment here. Imagine just for a second that this $327,000 price
Right.
on the private ledger, it actually becomes public.
Okay.
What kind of impact would that have on the financial system?
Whoa, it's hard to even imagine the consequences of a price swing that big.
Right.
It would definitely cause a huge shift in global markets,
Global markets, wow.
force everyone to reevaluate traditional financial systems
Yeah.
and the role of
It'd
cryptocurrencies.
be like that scene in a movie where the hero finds a hidden treasure chest
Yeah,
and suddenly everything changes.
it would be a big deal.
Yeah. Imagine the headlines. XRP skyrockets, leaving traditional markets in the dust.
Wow.
The rise of the crypto titans. Is this the end of fiat currency? It would be pure chaos.
Chaos might be a bit of an overstatement,
Okay.
but it would definitely be a period of major upheaval, a lot of adjustment.
Right.
Governments, central banks, financial institutions, they'd all have to figure out what to do with this decentralized digital currency,
Yeah.
challenging the existing power structures.
It'd be like a game of financial Jenga with a whole tower about to topple over. But who knows, maybe that kind of disruption is exactly what we need
Maybe.
to break free from the limitations of traditional finance.
It's possible.
Maybe this is the push for a more fair, transparent, and accessible financial system.
That's certainly one of the driving forces behind the whole crypto movement.
Right.
The idea of creating a financial system that's more inclusive and empowers individuals rather than just institutions.
Right.
Whether XRP will be the one to lead this change, well, we'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to be interesting to watch.
Absolutely. It's like we're standing on the edge of a new frontier.
Yeah,
And XRP is one of the pioneers leading the way.
I like that.
But as with any frontier, there are going to be challenges, setbacks, and unexpected discoveries.
That's part of the adventure.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting. The future of finance is being written right now, and XRP is a part of that story.
It is.
Whether it becomes the dominant force or just a catalyst for change, it's a development worth watching closely.
Couldn't agree more.
Well said. This deep dive has been an incredible journey. We've explored the complexities of XRP, its potential to change the financial world, and the impact of the crypto revolution.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride.
As we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay, what's that?
The crypto world is full of possibilities, but it's so important to approach it with a balanced mindset, a mix of optimism, curiosity, and healthy skepticism. Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge what you hear, and form your own conclusions.
That's great advice.
The future of finance is being shaped as we speak, and you have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Well said. Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep exploring. The world of crypto is full of surprises, and who knows what's next for XRP and the future of finance.
Until next time, happy diving.